I don't want to quit the game. But, like, if it keeps happening, I might not play anymore. Fuck these 1% pieces of shit that are sitting up there drinking champagne on high-rises. These guys make $5 million a year. You think $5,000 is anything? No, that's what people spend in a month. Amazon actually responded to the player base with this. Whenever I say that Lost Ark getting 1370 free-to-play is possible, that does not mean that it is something just because one person or a dozen people can do it. That does not mean that it is good game design. Just because one person can overcome this challenge, or 3 people can overcome this challenge, does not mean that it's good game design. So I'm not, whenever I say that, it's okay that, you know, because some people can, or some people can get 1370, it's free to play, I'm not saying it's okay. I'm only saying that it's possible just because that's true. And so a lot of people have been unhappy about this, and they've been talking about the whole Lost Ark stuff, and just in general, I think that the Argos release has left a lot of really sour taste in people's mouths. And I think that the other reason, here's the big reason why the Argos release has made a lot of people upset, okay? So what happens is that it's actually easier to get to 1385. It's easier to get from 1370 to 1385 than it is to get to from 1355, I guess you would say, to 1370. That is a huge problem. Yeah, it should be 340 item level. Well, no, this is getting to 1370 is the hardest thing to do. And then after you get to 1370, you go down and you start, instead of having a 10% honing upgrade chance, you have a 60% honing upgrade chance. And some people say, oh, well, what about the silver? It doesn't matter. Like, even, yes, obviously it costs way more silver and way more honor shards in order to upgrade beyond 1370. It does, but the truth is that those materials are a lot cheaper. Those materials are straight up way fucking cheaper, and the material cost, especially also, here's another factor, is that all players, this is another reason why, all players right now are receiving some amount of greater honor leapstones, but only 1% of players are actually using the greater honor leapstones. What does that create? That creates a supply and demand problem, or a price and demand problem, where there is such a high supply that the demand of these greater honor leapstones is so low that the price for them is actually lower than what it would naturally be. And because of that, it actually becomes even cheaper to upgrade to 1385, because you have cheaper upgrade materials comparatively to their actual appropriate value. Because all players are getting these greater crystals injected into the economy, but all players are not able to accurately use them. So then they sell them, and then the real price is with the normal honor crystals. And this is how the economics work with the game. And anybody who knows anything about economics would tell you this. Like, I'm not a fucking genius for being able to recognize this. Anybody could fucking see this. This is the problem right here. Like, this right here is where the frustration occurs. The frustration occurs whenever you have a rich get richer situation, a rich get richer scenario, where somebody goes and they reach a peak right there, and they get to 1370, and they get even higher. Because what you have also is a snowball effect. Because once you get to that point in the game, now you can also go and you can do the higher level dungeons. You can buy the higher level leapstones, and you're able to buy these really good items and then sell them. You're able to get rings and things like this with like +3 onto engravings with class stats if you're doing the what do you call it, the abyssal dungeons. So you just start snowballing, and then you can also sell tripods as well from your chaos dungeons, and those you can sell to pretty much fucking anybody. So that's what ends up happening, right? Is that you have players that spend a lot of money, and they spend so much money that then they have basically a ticket to make even more. I'm running this topic today to address a couple issues that not only concern me, but are actually giving me considerable reason to quit playing until they're fixed. To provide some context, I'm a light spender, less than $100 spent outside of the Gold Founders Pack, and I have approximately 400 hours played since the Western release. I'm currently sitting at 1355 item level on my main, and have several alts nearing tier 30 as well. Here's what I'm seeing. People who just dump money into the game, what we call swiping, with maybe 1/3 of the time played that I do, some even less, have passed me in progression. These people are able to enjoy the endgame content you both claim you are trying to push the player base to because of your own conferences have stated the point of Abyssal and Legion raids are where you get to see the highest player retention rate. So basically he's talking about people like me. Like obviously I just said people trade me the gear, buying the gear, it's all the same in my opinion. I've said this before, there's no difference in my mind whenever if I'm getting traded the gear, if I'm spending money on the gear, it's all the same. So that's the way I see it. And so let's look over here. Meanwhile, those who actually put in time and effort to reach these goals can't even get the materials and have the honing rates to get your goal of retention. This brings up the current honing rates in order to reach this goal. At current, the rates are abysmal with the amount of resources we have available to us each day and week. That's true. And like, this is another real big factor that people don't keep in mind. Not only are the honing rates higher in Korea, but on top of them being higher in Korea, they also have more resources and more ways to obtain more resources. So it's like, not only, so like it costs more, it's like I remember this happened like now, like right about now. Like how much is gas where y'all are at? If you live in America here, how much is gas right now? Yeah, how much is gas right now for you guys? Like I went to the fucking gas station today. I forgot to look. It's like $4.50, right? In 2010, 2011, gas hit $4. So like this was like right now, we are not in as much of a recession as we were back then, but I remember what it was like back then. You had to spend, you were getting fucking like suppressed wages, and also the price of gas was going up. So you're getting hit coming and going. It's not like, oh, money's going up, right? Inflation has occurred. Like $100,000 10 years ago is not what $100,000 is today. So it's just, that's the way inflation happens. It's because of fucking fractional reserve banking. And I understand about 5% of what I need to understand to really understand why that happens. I am not a finance major. I took many finance classes, but I am not a finance major. So the point is that, what was I talking about this for? Right. So not only are your rates going down, so you're effectively getting less money, but what your money can buy is less valuable. And this is exactly what happened to gas 10 years ago. And this is what's happening right now in Lost Ark. And for you guys that were adults back then, and I was just becoming an adult back then, it was fucking terrible, man. It was absolutely fucking terrible. When I'm the only person that fucking remembers this shit, it was awful. It was absolutely fucking awful. It was terrible. So yeah, it was horrible. Analogy, Andy? Yeah, but it makes sense. Yeah, to the boomers that are like 30 years old here, it makes sense to us, all right? Yeah, I remember. Yeah, it was fucking terrible, man. Like, gas now is really bad too. Like, obviously there's a, you know, fucking world war that might happen. But like, all I'm really saying is that, like, I've gone through this before, and I think that this is what happens because, and also I remember how I felt back then. Like, and the thing is, you know what's so funny? Is that back then, you know what people were doing? They were doing Occupy Wall Street because they said, fuck these 1% pieces of shit that are sitting up there drinking champagne on high-rises, and meanwhile, I'm out here trying to work at McDonald's where they're trying to get my social media passwords so I can make $7 an hour. And I spend 4 of it on gas. You see what I'm saying? And then people got mad. And then here, it's so funny to me because I love thinking about these different analogies because the more different a scenario is and the more same the outcome is, the more I believe that you come to learn the nature of humans. You come to learn the true human nature of existence. And that's why I find it to be so interesting with these analogies, because these are like 2 completely different worlds, right? You've got fucking America and Arcadia, but it's the same thing. And like, that's so cool to me. Now, obviously both situations fucking suck, but the investigation of them and the discussion of them is very interesting to me. So this is the way I see this, is that it's awful. Like, full stop. It's really, really bad. Like, it is absolutely awful. And I'm actually, whenever I interview the Giga Whales, and just a little bit here, guys, because we are going to do that. Whenever I interview the Giga Whales, we are going to talk to them, and I'm going to get their opinion on these different topics. Yeah, I am, because I think that a lot of the Giga Whales will still agree with me. Yeah, no Shroud and Rich? What do you mean? Shroud and Rich are fucking noobs. Shroud, oh wow, I have to spend $5,000. Oh my god. Oh, we need to watch this one too. Oh wow, $5,000 for Shroud. That's like, oh man, I went to McDonald's. Like, for a normal person, this is like, oh, I went to Wendy's and they upcharged me for a drink and it's an extra $1. Like, Shroud's like, oh, I had to spend $5,000. Oh man, right? Like, dude, for oil princes and these other people that really spend money on the game, like, look at this, dude. BDO whale interview. Look at this. I already watched this before, but look at this number. $160,000 on BDO. You think $5,000 is anything? No, that's what people spend in a month. Like, that's it. Like, BDO is insane. Yeah, people spend a ridiculous amount of fucking money. And here's the thing. If you spend $700,000, there are a lot of guys out there, I know this might be a surprise, but they can do that, and they can be completely financially fine. Speaking of spending $700,000, you guys have to see this. Look at this shit. Like, I watched this shit, right? So, Cody fucking texted me whenever this shit happened. Watch how much money Train wins. This is insane, bro. Watch this shit. This is this is boom. So here, right here, he does like it's a duel, right? So it's either 3x or 9x. And it, like, obviously rolls whichever one it is. It's probably a weighted rolling system. So watch how many times the higher number wins the roll.
We did it! We did it! 20, 20, 20. Oh my god! We did it! We did it! Hold on.
Look at this.
10x? 10x? No, bitch. No. Oh my god. 10x?
6,000x. Come on.
Think, by the way, if it didn't have he could have had a 20 and a 10 instead of a 4 and a 3. Think about how much more money that would have been. Watch this. Watch this number.
Oh, fuck. What is that?
No, wait. That's
huge!
It.
Oh my god! Yes!
Let's go! Holy shit!
Bro, it came!
It came!
Oh
I did too!
I love how this website, like, watch, so the website, it ticks the numbers up, but Train won so much money that he actually, like, the website wasn't programmed to calculate numbers that high. So watch what happens.
Yes.
So he's going up to like 19,000, and then it just immediately big win, and then it just completely fucking changes. It changes because it's literally not programmed to go to, the number ticker is not programmed to go up to 14 million. He clicked it? He clicked it? What? Why did he click it? I wanted to see it go all the way up. Why did he click it? God damn it. I wanted to see the number go all the way up. What the hell? It's how the programs work. He always skips it. Oh my god, dude. He always skips it. Yeah, I guess it's better for the clip. Dude. So there are people like Train that they blow. Now with this win, Train's only down $25 million, right? He's only down 25 million now. And so he'll get a few more of these and he'll win. And so here's the fact, right? Is that whenever Train does this stuff, right? Think about how little 700K is. Think about how little 700K is whenever you're betting and winning and your balance is $2 million. So that's like one day, right? A lot of guys out there, I know it sounds fucking insane, and the reason why it sounds fucking insane is because it is fucking insane. There's a lot of guys out there who have a ridiculous amount of money. These guys make $5 million a year. They made a company. The company's worth $100 million. They sold it 2 years ago. They had 20%, and they have $20 million. They can spend $700K. Like, the interest on this is just fucking accruing every single year. They're just making money, 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 money. They're getting so much fucking money. It doesn't matter at all. Reckful's, remember Reckful's video of the, I remember watching this. I think I might have actually seen it live. Whenever Reckful did, like, the notepad document of, like, the 80,000s or something like that of how much $1 billion is. Yeah, that's what it is. Down 5K. So yeah, this is what's so crazy, is that there are people out there that have this amount of money. And I think this is what's really demotivating for a lot of people, is that a lot of people play video games to get away from those people. You know, they don't want to play against Elon Musk on a battleground where Elon Musk having money is going to make him win more often. You see what I'm saying? Like, because you're just going to lose. So nobody wants to play a game where they're set up to lose. It's the same reason why a lot of people without a lot of time don't want to play MMOs. It's because they know they can't invest the time into them, and they don't want to. That's all it comes down to. And also, there's other people that have a lot of money, and they like playing these games because it gives them the chance to lord it over other people and beat the shit out of kids that don't have any money. That's what they like doing. And again, like, that's easy to say. Yeah, so people complaining about Argo, shut the fuck up? Well, no, you... I think you missed the point. I think that you... So, like, what you got out of that is that because Train won 14 mil, and also that, what was it saying? Fucking another guy spent 700K, that you, like, yeah, shut the fuck up about Argus. It's only $5,000. Guys, it's only $5,000. If you want to do the new raid, that's all you need to spend. Just, you know, like, look into your retirement account, see what you can get, you know, talk to your accountant, call bank, and, you know, see what's possible. You can't change your mind. Yeah, it's only 5K, guys. Come on. And so went in over their heads. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? Is that it's still a ridiculous amount of money. That's what I'm really trying to get at here. A Lost Ark interview whale, timestamp pay to win part. I will probably watch that at some point, but I don't want to watch it today. I figure I'll just interview them myself. That's what I think would be a good idea. Seuss made a good point yesterday about Argos and all that. Seems like people don't remember what the dev said on the launch interview. Whenever Gold River said that you can pay money to get content quicker. Yeah, I think so. I think that, I think one of the big reasons why a lot of people were really positive about Lost Ark whenever it was coming to America is because it was being released, and a lot of the people that really? What did I miss something? Show me the clip if you want me to look at it. Because yeah, just show me the clip and I'll look at it myself. And the reason why is because the Lost Ark Korean experience is not as pay to win, because it's easier to hit the thresholds without spending real money. Now, obviously, the best players with the best gear have spent the most money. Absolutely. However, you can still hit the thresholds without spending money. But Argus is a threshold that many people realistically cannot hit unless they do spend money. Okay, thanks for the thoughtful and detailed feedback. Since launch team has been closely monitoring player data and progress, we're working with our developer, Smilegate, on a roadmap that provides the right content and features at the right time based on the progression rates of our player base. We do hear the concern that players may feel pressured to pay in order to keep up with the pace of the game, and this is not something we want. We'll provide more updates and details on how we'll roll out future content as soon as possible. Now, it's very hard for me to take this seriously, and the reason for that is, what do I always say? Maybe I haven't said this recently. Whenever personal gain and coincidence converge, it's probably not a coincidence. Oh, I accidentally did this thing that makes me a lot of money. Oh my God, I've really got to stop messing up. Oh, I just keep messing up and accidentally making so much money. Oh, guys, oops. Oh man, I'm so sorry. It just happened, right? It's, you know, I just accidentally clicked the add button, right? If I was doing that 5 times a day, it's probably not a fucking accident, is it? And that's what I'm really trying to say. How could this have happened? Wow. There's no such thing as coincidence. There's made up philosophy. we're not going to get into that, all right? Wait, I don't want to get into that. So let's look at the other stuff. As mentioned above, we are currently reworking the roadmap with Smilegate RPG to reflect where our player base is currently at in terms of progression and gameplay. No, he's just making a philosophical determinism argument. It's fucking pointless, and there's literally no purpose in talking about it. So we're not going to get into it. Anyway, what I'm saying here is that it is good that they are saying this, though. Like, regardless of them going and, oh, well, you know, this is on Axe, this is what we mean. Yeah, I'm going to assume that it's kind of bullshit, right? Because, like, there were people that told them this before the release happened. Like, they told them this before the release happened. Like, it's not like this is, oh, how'd this happen? Oh, nobody told us. Everybody told you this. Like, everybody said this. So, now it happened. Okay, it happened. Fine. Fuck you. Now what? You know, because I don't want to quit the game. I don't want to quit the game. I have fun playing the game. But, like, if it keeps happening, I might not play anymore. Because I don't have fun. The thing is, let me think of a way to put it. Like, it is a hollow victory for me. And, like, I do it for content, right? I do it primarily for content for the viewers. Because if it was me personally, I would not be doing this kind of stuff. I would just probably be at, you know, 1350 or something like that, or 1320. You know, selling all my materials, hoarding gold. Like, that's probably what I would be doing. There's a breaking point. Well, it's also, like, a point where there's no excitement about seeing new content from the average player base anymore, because the average player base knows that they won't be able to access it because it's paywalled. You see what I'm saying? So it's like people don't want to watch, like, and it also creates like an element of resentment even with viewers and players, because they're like, well, fuck this guy. He gets to do this content because he can either play the game 12 hours a day, or he's got a great job and he can afford to pay for this stuff. I don't have this. This game sucks and this guy sucks. You see what I'm really saying? People want to show, yeah. So like at Argus, and I've seen a lot of people say the same thing about Argus. Now, if we go in the new raid, Valton, I think is the next raid that they're going to bring out, comes out, and it's the same problem, you're going to see even less people interested in watching it. Because they don't want to watch a bunch of whales go on a, go to SeaWorld together. They don't want it, they're not there to watch SeaWorld. They want to watch the whole ocean. They want to watch the whole ocean doing shit, not just the whales. So, yeah, I mean, SeaWorld, Astroworld, pretty much the same thing, right? In, I guess, both cases, to be honest. So, like, listen, what I'm saying here is, unfortunately, let me actually read the rest of these before I get too far into the other stuff, okay? Amazing analogy? Yeah, but I'm right, aren't I? Yeah, you don't go to SeaWorld if there's only whales there. I mean, it's just, it really works. The more I think about it, the more it makes sense. Yeah, the more of it, yeah, oh my god. Okay, unfortunately, we're not able to get all the responses that we receive as quickly as we'd like to try. Respond to as many posts as we can. Do not change any honing rates. What we really need is the other missing pieces of content that gives us materials. I think that they should make the honing rates, they should take the 10% and the 15%, take them up 5 or 10% at least, man. At least 5 or 10% up. Like, I'm not talking about take them to 60 or 100%. Because, like, you do want to... The thing is that, like... No? Do both. Yeah, you should do both. Like, these should be... Yeah, 100% you should do both. However, then if you fail, you're not going to fail as much. If it's 30% instead of 20%, you're not going to fail as much at 20%. Or, sorry, at 30% as you would at 20. Why is that? Because of math. That's why. Okay, like, it's that simple. So, like, you don't want to have players. This is something that's really bad that WoW does, okay? I'm gonna make a new NFT. How many people do you think you lose in translation right there? And this right here is LFR. And this is normal. You lose almost everybody, and Classic WoW did not have this. Classic WoW did not have this shit. If you were in BRD and you were level 55, you were better comparatively than an LFR player is now at max level and full epic gear. Because the whole game taught you how to play. The difficulty in Classic WoW, if anything, it went like this. And this is MC, right? And I guess Nax is kind of hard, right? But like besides that, yeah, so it actually got easier. Bro, leveling in Red Ridge Mountains was more stressful for me than doing BWL. Yeah, that's all it was. You died a lot in Classic back then. You definitely did. So what I'm really trying to get at here is that, yeah, Red Ridge works. Bro, you remember, oh, wow, this is a brand new zone. Oh, what are they called? There's a gore tusk. Oh my god, I'm gonna go kill him. And there's a spider. Those are both mobs I need. Oh wow. Why am I netted? Wait. Oh my god! And there's 3 orcs that are 5 levels above you. And then you're dead. It was great. It was fucking great. But like that kind of stuff in the game, like that happened to me. And that happened to Zach, that happened to Cody, that happened to everybody, right? And you guys know the exact 3 orcs that I'm talking about. So the fact is that the game will lose so many people. So I want to explain why I'm talking about this for Lost Ark, okay? So this is why people get lost in translation in retail WoW, is because there's too much of a difficulty jump. If the honing rates go from, let's say 80%, to 15% right here, what you're telling people is to stop. You're telling people to stop. Don't do it anymore. It's over. This is a soft cap. The worst thing for you to do in a game is to condition players to stop playing it. In my opinion, that's what it is. So what I would say, Russian guy predicted this, just saying, that's why I watched his video, because I thought that he was right. Because I've seen it, like, this is not some sort of like divine insight that I have. Video games have already had this happen for years. BDO had this happen whenever they introduced a soft cap for levels. Lost Ark kind of has this happen with the combat levels, but it doesn't really matter in a way, so it doesn't really make a big difference. WoW has this with Titan Forging. WoW had this also with Azerite gear, and also especially with corruptions. So what I'm saying here is that you want to have the honing rates go down as you keep leveling. You don't want to have a cliff. That's the main thing that I'm worried about, is a cliff. Because a cliff will condition people to stop playing the game. Let's watch this real quick.
Every time, okay? The people that are saying Argos was... The people that really believe Argos was strategically put out, okay? We're gonna do this in one take. To the people that think Argos was strategically put out to milk whales, and that was the sole reason why they released Argos at the start of the month, you are the same people, in my opinion, that also probably believe that Lost Ark was delayed because of New World.
I think both things. Yeah, I think that they did delay Lost Ark because of New World. And it was the right decision, by the way. Whenever Lost Ark got delayed, I said that it was a good decision to delay Lost Ark. Because it was better for AGS as a studio to have a basically test run of their first live service game with New World before Lost Ark comes out, and they have a game with an established reputation that they can then ruin. Do you see what I'm saying? Basically use New World as a beta test. It was a good decision for them to do.
That's what you probably also think.
Yes.
Right? But it was already stated way fucking far in advance. Wrong? Suck my dick, I'm wrong. Okay? Suck my fucking dick, I'm wrong. And I'm gonna show you why.
There it is.
Okay, you know what? First of all, I'm gonna ban your dumbass. You wanna know why I'm gonna ban your dumbass?
He's been watching my stream. I love it. Okay, hold up. Wait a minute. All right, you know what? I love this. Classic, yeah.
Because I haven't even finished my fucking point, and you said wrong. I'm gonna ban your dumbass. Suck my
there
fucking Johnson, Mr. Acologen. Okay?
Wait a second. I'm gonna pull up his logs in my chat right now. User ARKIEOLOGEN. Okay, we're pulling him up right now. He's messing. All right. Oh my God, he's been in there. He's been in there. No fucking way, bro. Wait. No fucking way. He's in chat right now. He's in chat right now. Look at it. He says XDDDDD. Ha ha ha. I'm free to play and I'm 1360, but you have to play 10 hours a day. I'm 1360. I can't get there free to play. Sag playing 10 hours every day. Fuck him. What a piece of shit. Tier 3. 730 is easy, guys. Keck W. Can't wait for you to fail. Cam girls always winning. Wow, Andy's malding. You get 20 free purple books at 1340. Is it 1340? I don't think it's 1340, is it? I thought you got like 10 and then you got 10 more from the boss rush. Well, whatever. Maybe it is 1340. I don't remember. Anyway, so let's look at this here. My great grandmother can react faster than 10 seconds. Okay. Okay. So what we have here, we have VIP, man, fucking idiot. No, it's fine. It's whatever. All I'm saying is like, so this person, you see what happened, right? Is like this person, this is how the hostility and the toxicity is created. Because this person they were 1360 and they tried and they didn't make it. And they've been investing, but I have to play 10 hours a day. He's been playing 10 hours a day and he watches somebody play, you know, maybe the same amount of time, but spend money, real money, and get ahead of him. How do you think that's going to make him feel? You see what I'm saying? He left? Oh, it doesn't matter. Somebody gifted him a sub. Okay, yeah, that's great. I feel the same way. Yeah, exactly. We believe him? Yeah, I believe him. Because he has no reason to lie. He's consistently talked about it. It seems like he's intelligent, or not necessarily intelligent, right? But maybe he is. It's hard to say on Twitch chat messages. But it seems like he's educated about the game. Like, this person has a general understanding about the game, and they talk about it, and they usually clarify things like, you know, just generally Final Fantasy XIV, Andy, stay mad. You know, it is what it is, right? Yeah, he's a smartest Lost Ark player. Right, and that, yeah, seems like an overall, like, listen, we read the ban appeals yesterday. This guy's a fine, upstanding citizen, okay? So, yeah, that's the way I see it. And that's why somebody like this is pissed off. That's what it is. All right, anyway, let's keep going with the video. Sorry.
Let me finish my goddamn point before you say wrong. Like, what is this? Like, it's true. Like, I haven't even said anything. It's like saying true before I even made my point.
You guys can true me, but if you wrong me, you're banned.
All right.
Okay, let's see this.
Fuck that. Anyway, so he can sit in the fucking gulag for all I care. Mr. Gunnar, thank you for the prime, and Yakum, thank you for the prime, but I appreciate it, man. Okay, so before Lost Ark even fucking came out, okay, yeah. I remember watching this live, and you should watch this. Okay. Okay, we have it at 8 minutes. Last time I'm talking about this, so let's go over this first.
True, I agree. Yeah, I agree. I think that's actually a good point. That changes the way that I look at it. You know, now that Gold River presents it in this new context, I actually think the Argos release was, if anything, a bit late. You know, like, actually, yeah, never mind. That's a good take, yeah. Totally true.
So with our speedy updates all available, ready to go, we're still going to take time to monitor the progression levels of our users, of our global users, and release.
Wouldn't that go against what he was saying?
Speed level.
You might even say, stop the updates. Be prepared.
I love all the comments.
I guess that's confusing for me because he was saying that they're going to monitor them. They're coming out fast. He knew. Well, it's like also like, I don't know if that's entirely what he meant though, because like the honing upgrades and like the entire way the game plays in Korea is fundamentally different than the way that it plays in America. So like, I think that like, for example, if the honing rates were the same in America as they are in Korea, and also you were able to get as many resources as you're able to get in Korea that you can in America, or, you know, you can get the same amount of resources in America as you can in Korea, I think the Argos release would have been totally fine. Yeah, that would have been totally fine. So he's saying this in a context, it depends on like what the context is.
He said, we delayed Lost Ark because of localization of Legion and Argos raids. Then he said, after a month after release, we're going to put out Argos. Let's finish this.
And we already saw basically that part of it. He's just going to explain what he said. Sorry.
And guess what happened?
Sorry, I feel like that's kind of awkward because he's using two different audio sources. I apologize. It's kind of an awkward react right now. But I think that's the last part he's going to talk about it.
Day that the Vaulton leak came out. The day the Vaulton leak came out.
Yeah.
That same day, our roadmap was delayed. And it said, please be aware we are currently making adjustments to our upcoming content roadmap based on player progression data. We'll be sharing an updated roadmap following our March update, which is what we just got. So, fucking 2 months ago, before the game came out, he said that, or the week of the game, or about a month ago,
okay,
by the time this patch will come out, he said that we already had plans for, we're doing Argos in a month. And guess what happened in a month? Now they're probably going to delay Vaulton. Was it a mistake to release the raid at the start of the month? Which, by the way, in every foreign version, whether it comes from Russia and Japan, you get monthly updates. Whereas in Korea, they get weekly updates, where they roll out an entire
That's awesome.
patch. Was it a mistake to release at the start of the month? Yeah, I think it was a little too fast, right? But is it clear that they want to fuck you guys and it's whale bait? Dude, whales don't need whale fucking bait. Like, what are you guys talking about? Respectfully, like, these motherfuckers are spending ass loads of money. There's nothing to do at 1490. There's a dude sitting at 1490. He doesn't.
Okay, so I think that there is not whale bait, but there is, however, whale inducement. And how many people do you think were at 1340 or 1355 or 1360 and were really close to Argus? And those are the ones that I think were transitioned from being orcas into whales. Those were the plankton that evolved into becoming a whale. And that's what really happens, right? Because like a lot of the other things, like everything else, like doing the Orphe as well and everything like that on hard mode, yeah, that stuff is really cool. But for the most part, it's just the same content. And that's what I think it is. So it's not about inducing whales to spend more money because the whales were already 1385, like he said. So like it's content for whales, but it's also content to inspire whaling. It is an inducement towards whaling. It's like they're kind of the same thing, but I feel like it's more complex. Like he's right, and I think also I'm right. You see kind of what I'm saying?
Give a fuck. The guy sitting at 1430, he doesn't give a fuck, right?
Yeah.
They don't give a shit.
They're
not
just gonna play whatever.
Oh, dude, oh, now I'm gonna do it. They don't give a fuck, right? The truth is that the raid was going to come out. Did it come out a week too early? A week or two? Those of you that are 1300, 1310.
No, if it had come out a month later, it would have still been too early for most people, for average players. Because the honing rates are just so low and they require such a massive investment of materials and they just go down so much. Just make the honing rates higher, give people more resources to get the materials, and it'll be fine. Like, just make the game... It's so weird, right, that we're having this conversation because that's literally what they did in Korea and the game started growing. So just do what you did in Korea that made the game grow, and maybe the game will grow here in America. Rather than go around and change shit and make it to where people don't, there's the haves and the have-nots. Know what caused burnout? So you're saying like adding more content daily caused burnout? This is my personal opinion. I find it to be better content that you can do different activities on one character that still contribute to your progression than having to use multiple characters to do the same activities to contribute towards your progression. So I would say that having harder bosses and having harder mechanics and things like that and just more resources to do it, that is better than having people play alts. I feel like having to play an alt in order to keep your main up to date is an inferior gameplay experience.
Suck my balls, you were never getting to Argos even if we gave you extra 2 weeks, right? You were not getting there regardless.
He's right. And that's what I said, right? It would have been a month. It would have been a month, 2 months, 2 or 3 months, the average player base. And the truth is, the average player in 2 months would not make it to Argus. You know what they would do? They would quit. They would quit. And that's what would really happen. It's not like, yeah, they're just going to stop playing. You hit the wall too early in the content. And you have to have other things that quit already. There's a lot of people that feel that way because they see the wall and they're like, I don't want to climb over that. It's too high. Average player is not in a rush, dude. What are you talking about? I think we always talk about the average player, right? And like, you're right. And also I think you're not right. Because whenever I'm talking about like an average player, I don't really mean the average player. You're right about that. But what I really mean is I mean like the average player at endgame that is progressively playing the game regularly on a daily basis. Which are a lot of people. There are a lot of people out there that are regularly playing the game. And also, there's a matter of a perspective. Because there's a lot of people out there who are in tier 1 right now, and they see what's happening, and they think to themselves, wow, this sucks. I don't know if I want to play this anymore. You see what I mean? So like there's also a perception argument that can be made too. Now how valid is a perception argument? I think that usually it's very hit or miss, but it does exist.
Right? You weren't going to get there. You were way too far away. Like, what the fuck? You're not getting there on time anyway. And that's fine because you also have shit that's going on. Maybe you can't play as much. Maybe you got whatever going on in your life. Like,
yeah.
Totally get it. You can't play as much. Right? But if they gave it 2 extra weeks, which is what I think would have been fair because all of my free-to-play friends were right on the border. Those are the people that should be upset.
Those are the people that are spending money right now. Because they're already so invested into the game, they're just going to spend real money to get to the rest of the way there. I mean, they've already invested hundreds of hours into the game. And so, like, they're going to spend money. No, not me. Wrong, I'm just waiting. No, you're right. A lot of people won't. But a lot of people will. It's the same as, like, okay, so imagine there's a fish. Imagine we're all fish in the sea, okay? We're all fish in the sea. And there's a fisherman with a big net. And he throws a net out. And he catches 100 fish, and he doesn't get you because you're smarter than that other fucking fish that got caught. Would you then say nets don't work? Think about it.
Joe, who plays for an hour a day, should not be upset. You're not getting there anyway on time, bro. Right?
Not
but
an hour a day,
people that grinded their ass off a lot, and they barely missed it, I totally get that. And
yeah,
that's why I would say it came out a week or 2 late. Right? A week too early. But, dude, the login events are fucking insane. Those are not normal login events. The Naruni Racing event is not a normal event. Them giving you all of those peons to help you save gold and free orange like that randomly.
The peon system is, I think the system is necessary, but it's too oppressive right now. There's like 9 peons? What the fuck? 9? That's way too much, man. Like, it should be like, if they cut it in half, it would still be too much. Phaons, you guys know what I mean, right?
That's not normal. That's to give you shit to help your journey feel better. The raid came out too late, and I bet you with this roadmap, they're going to talk about delaying shit now. But to be real, I think it's insane. The amount of people that are angry about too fast of content by like a week or 2 versus too late of content. Because every MMO I've ever played, the biggest complaint has been, there's nothing to fucking do.
Well, it's like he's right, but it's the context around it. So, like, for example, like the context around it is really what the issue is. So I don't think that they should delay Vaulton. I don't think they should have delayed Argos. I think Argos came out at the right time. I think that the Heroic Abyssal raids, the bridge content, and everything else didn't. That should have come out before Argos did. So that's what the difference is. I think that they should have changed. They should make the game play differently. They should keep the same release schedule, but they should release casual content faster. So the casual content allows free-to-play players to keep up with pay-to-win players whenever the content gets released. That's what I think they should do.
You weren't even close. Right? If you were close, I actually get it. Some of my own friends were hella close, and for them, I'm like, yeah, I think it should have came out a week or 2 later. But is it the end of the world? No, because you want to know why? In Lost Ark, it doesn't matter if you're fucking late or not, because all of the raids within Tier 3, you do every single one every fucking week.
And that's true, and that is one of the best things about Lost Ark. I love that because that is the same progression system that made me love Classic WoW and Burning Crusade. I fucking love that. I think that is amazing. But how much worse would it have felt if somebody who bought the Dark Portal Pass got to do Naxxramas 2 weeks early? That's what the difference is. And there would be people, and here's what it is. There would be people who were in BWL who would quit over that. And you could easily say, what the fuck do you care? You can't even get in there. You can't even do either one of these raids. Why does it matter to you? And the fact is that, you know, they care because they don't want to play a game that's like that. That's all there is to it. The perception around a game and the perception around especially the way that people pay for a game is so important. And the reason why I'm really talking about this so much is because I would absolutely fucking love to have somebody from AGS or from Smilegate who's bilingual or something. I don't know what we could do. I would love to just sit down on an Allcraft episode, and I'm going to be honest. I'm going to ask you these questions, and I'm going to bring up these concerns, and I want to talk about them because the game is good. I love this game, and I don't want you to mess it up. And it's like, if you're going to mess it up, fine, you're going to mess it up. But don't say I didn't tell you so. Don't fucking say I didn't tell you so. I want to make sure that you know about it. And I want to let you guys know. Some people might not have known this because it was all for, you know, like we do a little bit of trolling on this channel, okay? Like, let's be honest. As soon as I ended my stream where I got 1370, I immediately messaged somebody that worked at AGS. And I said that a lot of people were really upset about Argos coming out so early. I immediately did that. Because, like, I know that, like, my experience playing the game is not normal. This is not the average player's experience. And I care more about the average player's experience than I do about my own experience. Why is that? Because if the average player's experience is bad, they won't play the game. And if they don't play the game, they don't want to watch the game. And if they don't want to watch the game, then I don't get to play the game on stream. If I don't get to play the game on stream, then I don't have as much fun. You understand? It all comes back around. Like, yeah, I've got nobody's going to send me any gold. Like, I remember at the beginning of New World, people would send me gold every day. And then, like, maybe 2 months after the game came out, nobody was sending me gold anymore. And it's like, why is nobody sending me gold anymore? Did I fall off? And they're like, no, man, you didn't fall off. We did. We don't want to play the game. You know, nobody plays. And so, yeah, nobody's going to send me stuff.
All the way to Argos to April. None of this content is ever irrelevant because you get paid gold. Players that are over here at 1473, they will still go back and do this raid every week. So
I love how Stoops is doing the exact same stream that I do. He's arguing with chatters, talking loudly, with Microsoft Paint, drawing graphs. Like, this is just, it really is just, it's really something, isn't it? Yeah, isn't it really fucking something?
It doesn't matter if you're late or no. Everyone is always going to do Argos. Not for the materials and not for the gold. And if it was whale bait, if it was actually fucking whale bait, then they would have made the solar gear and the actual gear sellable. If they didn't care about the version of the game that we were getting, it would be capped at plus 25 and it would be sellable. It would be fucking sellable.
I agree that it could be worse. I agree. He is right. It could be worse. He is absolutely right. But if somebody cuts off my finger, I'm not going to say thanks for not cutting off my hand. I'm going to say, why the fuck did you cut off my finger?
No other version of the game I've ever played has solar gear not been. It's always sellable. So the little like thing where you could buy all of the gear and do it in a day, you can't even do that in our version of the game. You can't even do it in a single day in our game. Like you've heard online, you can't even.
That's a good that's a good improvement. I know this. I know exact Stoops is talking about Divium Furrer, his video, the Russian guy, because Stoops fucking hates that guy. Fucking hates that guy. So he just doesn't want to say his name. That's what it was. And so, and the thing is, like, no, but Stoops is right about this. He is right. And like, this is not a Stoops is wrong or Divium is wrong. This is both people are bringing up points that I think some are valid and some are not as valid. This is a conversation. Like, we're talking about the game, okay? Like, I don't care about who's right or who's wrong. I just want to know what is going to make the game better. Please make the game better.
Now, can people get ahead with gold in this game? Fuck yes.
Hell yeah,
they can. That's up
to
you if you want to do it. Right? That's up to you if you want to do that. Do you want to buy stuff and go faster and get ahead? Fuck yeah.
No, it's not. Because, like, if you have people that are buying gold and spending a lot of gold, so, like, here's what happens, right? So, like, me buying a lot of the honor crystals a couple of days ago to go up to 1370 raised the price of honor crystals. Because I was spending all of that gold, and it was an unnatural change in the economy. So if you exist in a shared economy, what other players do with their time and with their gold, it affects you as a player. Yeah, it basically, yeah, it hits you way, way down. And again, guys, people don't understand the economies. Why do they not understand the economies? Because it is not a simple A equals B. It is not a cause and effect. It is a cause and effect. And it's hard to really do these things. It's hard to figure these things out because a lot of people just don't think about this kind of stuff. My dad raised me to think about this kind of stuff. That's why I was scamming people out of shit whenever I was 5 years old, okay? Like, I've always been thinking like this, and so that's the first thing that I do think of. Is like how this is going to happen. They're delusional? No, it's invisible to them. They're not seeing it the same way that I see it.
Yes, you can. But it's also fucking free. And most games suck dick and you pay for them. Right?
That is true.
Shut your ass up.
He's right.
You know what I'm saying? If you don't like it, don't fucking play. But don't be a hate watcher or a negative Andy. Shut your ass up and go play something else.
I think that... Let's look at Lost Ark right now. I want the game to go back to this number. And do you know how to do that? Is you make the game better. I want the game to beat that number. Yes, they banned a lot of bots, and this is probably more this is a more accurate representation of the player base. Also, you have a number of people who could have lost internet because of the whole Russian problem, because I'm sure there are some Russians, there are probably many Russians here that are part of the English community that also, you know, play on English servers. So, like, there's a lot of other reasons why these numbers could have gone down, but I think there has also been frustration. Like, oh, let's not try to speak around it entirely. There has been this frustration with the game. It's not one thing. It's like 5. Ukrainians too? Yeah, exactly.
You don't pay for anything. This dude pays for you. This dude pays for you.
He's right. You're right. That's why the game's free. Yes, you're right.
You're not paying anything. And you're complaining. Shut your ass up.
What's the product if you're not paying for it? What is the product if you're not paying for the product? It's you. You are the product. You are the product. You become the product. So you are paying for it in a way. Your privacy. No, this isn't just something about how Facebook steals your data. Let me give you a really great example for this. So let's say you have 2 private servers, and they are both Wrath of the Lich King private servers. One private server has 100,000 people playing on it, hypothetically. Another private server has 1,000 people playing on it. Which server do you think you could sell a Shadowmourne for more money on? 100,000. Yeah, think about that. Why is that? It's because people, this is why people care about MMOs dying. Is because a lot of people, what they care about is being able to lord their successes over other people. And they want to have accomplishments that have value in a larger world. And the more people that play the game, the more value that accomplishment has.
If you don't like what I have to say, leave. But that dude's paying for you to play the game for free. I don't understand it. I've played games where there's a cash shop. There's WoW tokens. You can buy in-game currency.
Yeah.
Like Guild Wars, you can buy in-game currency. WoW, you can buy in-game currency.
Oh, yeah.
You can buy shit. They charge you a sub, or they charge you a box cover fee, or both. What are you complaining about? Shut your ass up.
I think that like what he's saying is like it is true. There's a good like what he's saying is like it is true that like the whales do keep the game afloat. And it's like you're not paying for anything. If you don't like the game, just shut up and stop playing it. That actually is true. I think that to a degree that is true. What he is saying is true to an extent. However, the reason why Lost Ark is a good game is because it caters to both. It's because it can make free-to-play players feel good about playing the game. And the fact is that while the whales may support the game, think of it like this, okay? Okay, good example. Ninja moves over to Mixer. Ninja moves over to Mixer. Mixer doesn't really grow. Shroud moves over to Mixer. Mixer still doesn't really grow. Why is that? Because you need to transplant an ecosystem in order to actually have it grow. And what happened is they just took two really, really big trees and they put them in the middle of a desert. And it's the same ecosystem that exists on these video games, is that while yes, those trees are the pillars of the community and they are the ones that really keep the community going and they keep it afloat and they create the content and everything like that, those trees are nothing without the shrubs, the bushes, the ants, and the butterflies that exist in the forest around that. And the fact is that all of those shrubs and butterflies and ants and you know, trees and smaller, all these other little things, these are the free-to-play players and the semi-pay-to-play players that maybe spend like $100 on the game, you know, every year or something like that, right? Or every other month. Like this, compared to a whale, is very small. And so those people are the real ecosystem of the forest, right? It's not the big tree or the handful of big trees. It's the small ecosystem that exists inside of them and so around them. So you can't just make a game for the whales. That's effectively what happened with Mixer. You take two whales, you put them in an ocean, there's no you know, krill for them to eat. The whales are going to die. So if you make a game and you design a game for whales, you will eventually have the whales die off. It's the same thing that happened with Mixer in a very abstract way. The whales need the krill to eat. They need the plankton to eat them. Because if the whales don't have the plankton, they die. And if the whales don't have the casual players to lord their shit over, they quit. Lost Ark is a successful and growing game in multiple parts of the world because it creates an ecosystem, not a class system.
I pay Annette. It's insane. And on top of all of that, you can get upset all you want when I say it, but on top of all of that, you also wait for content. There's no content. You wait for a fucking year. It looks like 9.2 will be the last raid for over a fucking year.
He's talking about whales. Some guy in chat. Shout out to Shroud and Rich. There you go. Smilegate watched your 1370 stream, by the way. I hope they did. I'll do another one soon.
And wow. Isn't that insane? Over a year again? That's fucking crazy, dude. Like,
yeah.
What? Oh, no. I wasn't even close to getting to Argos. Do I think it was too fast? Yes. Is it important to give feedback and say, hey, can we slow it down a little bit?
True.
Or give us the Naruni Racing event and the extra materials before it comes out in 2 weeks? Yes.
I feel like Stoops, like, I think that, like, what he's really doing here is, like, he's responding to, like, the most vitriolic people. These are the people that are, like, the most vitriolic and the most angry, and so he's defending it because he's being put in a position where, like, people are saying the game is, like, dying. It's, like, a really, like, basically, I think he's overcompensating for people that are being unreasonable. Like, I do that a lot, too. You know, it's like, is not objective at all. Nobody's objective. There's no reason to even, like, you should never pursue objectivity in an individual. You should only pursue truth. And truth does not exist in an individual. Truth exists in an aggregate existentially from the individual. There are people that are closer to truth individually than others. But truth exists separate from an individual.
Is it the end of the world? No. So again, respectfully, shut your ass up. It's not the end of the fucking world.
Okay,
play video
I'll
games
watch
and
a little
have
bit
fun.
more, then I want to watch some
I'm so
other
tired
shit,
of, like,
okay, guys?
complaining
And now I
about
want to play the
stuff.
game
There's my
and do the
clip. It's a
interview,
long
okay?
segment, clip it. I'm not talking about it anymore. I'm not. The next
there we go.
The next person that asks me about it, I'm gonna ban their ass. I'm tired of talking about it.
There it is.
It's unreal.
He's got to do a ban appeal stream himself. I think it sucks for him, right? Because like he's just such a big fan of the game. He like moved over and played the game. He was so excited for it, and then like to see people shitting on the game and like being unhappy about it. Like that's kind of the way I felt about New World, right? Is like I was so happy for New World to come out, and then like the game had a lot of problems and flaws, and it was like, man, just like really, man, it's like so disappointing to see, especially like I've invested so much time into it. Like it just sucks, man. Yeah, it just fucking sucks. Like, I think that, like, don't you guys have, like, that game that you, like, that you will always be, like, you'll try to see the bright side of it? It's like, oh, well, you know, at least we've got, or, oh, yeah, but there's still, you know, like, yeah, wow, yeah, that's the game, right? That's the game. And so, like, everybody has this game. Like, I get that. I'm not that worried about it. Like, it is what it is. I try to, you know, again, I try to talk about these things on a, you know, I try to see other people's perspective on things rather than just, like, try to disagree with them. You know, that's it.